and welcome to my channel. This is Spilling the Tea with G. My name is G. I'm new to YouTube, but I enjoy making videos to show some of the shady business tactics used by MLMs. This video is part 2 of a multiple part series where I'll be breaking down this MONAT representative's analysis of a so-called peer-reviewed article. I'll include the link to part 1 below. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.
So the conclusion that they found is, in no instance is there any indication of a decrease in tensile properties as a result of repeated shampoo and conditioning. Similarly, there was no indication of any changes associated with shampoo dosage.
So let's get started by going over tensile testing, because I have no idea what the heck that is, and I would like to understand it if this is the way that they are trying to advertise that their shampoo and conditioner system is safe. The industry standard for performing such testing involves the generation of stress-strain curves using constant rate extension experiments. This approach involves stretching individual fiber to their breakpoint in a controlled manner while measuring the internal forces that arise. So that is what this representative is talking about. It's the first test. This is the beginning of that testing section, and the next time we hear the representative talk, she is going to tell us the very, very end. But there's actually quite a lot of information that's really important to note before we get to the end pages. I am a college graduate, but I wasn't a STEM major, and I wasn't a hair scientist. So I'm going to do my best to interpret this, and you let me know in the comments what you think about it. If you are trying to advocate for the MONAT products, this part is really good for you because it's showing that hair samples that were never treated with heat, they all did pretty good, and they got pretty similar results, and there was no diminishment in the tensile property, which, remember, that just means how far you can pull a strand of hair before it breaks. So they did pretty good. But this is an important section. Multiple washing and conditioning cycles in combination with heat straightening resulted in a break stress for hair that was 15% lower than the untreated control. So what that means is, if the strand of hair that was being treated with the products was also being treated with heat, the tensile property was 15% lower, which means that you're going to be able to break that strand of hair apart faster than you would the virgin hair. This next sentence is what really stood out to me as being just a little bit fishy. This result is in accordance with the well-known damaging effect of these high-heat treatments and should not be attributed to any product effects. Wait a second. I thought this was a peer-reviewed article. I didn't know scientists in peer-reviewed articles would be allowed to say that. Yes, I do think that heat has a lot to do with it. However, I think it's a little bit fishy to try to claim that that cannot be attributed to the product as well. Can you definitively say either way? Because if you can't, you really shouldn't say anything about it, and you should just let the information and facts speak for itself. And what's also a little bit alarming is that if you think about the average woman nowadays, I feel like I don't know anyone who doesn't blow dry their hair or straighten their hair or use a curling iron on their hair. If you are doing that and then also using the products, you're going to have a break stress for your hair that's going to be 15% lower than what the control group in this experiment was. In my opinion, this means that your hair is going to break apart faster. So I just think it's a little bit fishy. And I know I've said that phrase a few times. But in my opinion, just a little bit fishy. Again, all samples that did not involve heat treatment gave rise to statistically equivalent results. That is, neither repeated washing with shampoo nor shampooing and conditioning at either dosage. Why can't I say that word? At either dosage resulted in any diminishment of this important tensile parameter. And again, that's great. However, many women nowadays are going to apply heat to their hair, whether it's by blow drying, by straightening, by using a curling iron. So that doesn't really help when I don't think the majority of the customers are going to have that type of hair. As before, multiple washing and conditioning cycles in combination with heat straightening did lead to a reduction in this property. But again, this is attributed to the well known damaging effects of heat treatments. Okay, again, this is a little sketchy to me. How are they saying with certainty that it's definitely the heat and not the product? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Am I reading this right? And lastly, let's talk about bleached and dyed hair. Wet state break stress results for the bleached dyed control hair are approximately 6% less than the virgin control and illustrate the known damaging effect of these chemical treatments on the hair structure. So, what they're saying is that bleached and dyed hair have 6% less of this property, so it's going to break apart faster than if you had virgin hair. And does it have to do anything with the product? No, of course not, because these are the known damaging effects of the chemical hair treatments. Again, seems a little suspicious. As seen with the virgin hair, all samples that did not involve heat treatment, again, gave rise to statistically equivalent results. Oh my goodness, amazing! The virgin hair did great. That is such a genuine surprise. I'm being sarcastic. Likewise, samples that included flat iron treatment gave rise to somewhat lower values, but as before, this effect is associated with high heat and not the products. Yeah, seems legit. And when we keep scrolling down, right here, this is the part that the representative mentioned. She didn't mention any of the things that we just uncovered, but instead, she actually just, gave a summary of this section. In case you forgot, I'll replay it again right here.
So the conclusion that they found is in no instance is there any indication of a decrease in tensile properties as a result of repeated shampoo and conditioning. Similarly, there was no indication of any changes associated with shampoo dosage.
I find it a little bit interesting that she only focused on this paragraph here and she didn't talk about this section, which really shows, in my opinion, that this article is biased. The article is skewed towards pointing the finger at bleaching and dyeing and heat straightening and using heat on your hair as the top culprits of what will damage your hair. And I do think that's accurate. All of those things will damage your hair. I know. I've damaged my hair many times doing those things. But the question here is, how will using the products further damage my hair? With the virgin hair, this study is a home run. It's great. Yeah, it didn't really damage the hair. There was no decrease in tensile properties for the virgin hair. However, there also was evidence that using the products and treating your hair with heat straightening would damage those tensile properties. So I think that it's not accurate to say that there are not any negative effects that will be caused on your hair, because a lot of people straighten their hair, apply heat to it, and color it. So just be warned.
So right there, that means that with the shampoo and conditioning, it did not affect the strength of the hair when it was being pulled apart. It still had the same breaking point. And when it comes to the dosage, that also did not have an effect on the strength of the hair. So, and then after that, they said that these conclusions are true for both tensile parameters shown here and consistent across experiments performed in both virgin and bleached hair. So in both cases, on the virgin and bleached hair, the shampoo and conditioner did not affect the strength of the hair in terms of damaging it. So it did not make it more damaged.
I disagree with that last statement. I think based on this report itself, we can clearly see that if you have dyed your hair before, or you treat it with color, or you use a blow dryer or a straightener or anything that applies heat to your hair, you might experience a lessening in your tinsel properties.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was informative. Come back for part 3 and let me know what you think in the comments. Was it really fair for her to say that there would be no damage to the hair? See you next time!